You don't have to live with pain or chronic neuro issues any longer. In this podcast, you will learn how to stabilize your brain, body, and biochemistry for the rest of your life. I'm Dr. Teams, and this is the NeuroRESET podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to the NeuroRESET podcast. My name is Amanda.
My name is Cathy, and we are the patient coordinators here at Desert Brain and Spine. So our focus today is to give you some background on Amanda and myself, and to share with you a little bit about what we do in the front office as patient coordinators.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Cathy. Cathy, where are you from?
Well, hopefully my accent doesn't give it away, but I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and we consider that, home of the Southern hospitality, humidity, and bless your heart.
Absolutely.
Amanda, you're from the South too. Tell us about where you're from.
I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, where we say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or else.
Right. It's guys out there, yes ma'am and no ma'am is a sign of respect. So whenever we say that to you, we don't mean that you're old.
Correct. I say it to everyone.
We were just trained to say yes ma'am and no ma'am.
Absolutely. So. All right. Well, Cathy, let's get into your background a little bit. What's your background and what were you doing before you came here to Desert Brain and Spine?
Well, my background is in dental hygiene. I have an undergrad in dental hygiene and a master's in business. So I have been blessed with various positions in healthcare with sales, teaching, actually hygiene, patient care, hygiene, and consulting. And before I came here, I was in a position as vice president of a startup company that developed simulator courses for dentistry.
Okay.
And what the simulator did was it basically allowed students and professionals to do a hands-on, without a patient, mannequin, so to speak, but it was virtual. Okay. So it was pretty cool. But they used that to work on their technical skills for students that were entering the profession or while they were in school, and the docs used it for testing for licensure or for just upgrading their skills.
That's awesome.
So it was very stressful, and that I think is, it was very stressful, and so that combined with some personal situations, I found myself in a place I was very much like a lot of our patients that come here, where I was burning the candle at both ends and working night and day, and trying to reach some goal. Right. And I eventually burned out, and with some personal stuff that was going on at the time, it just seemed to me a better position or a better thing for me to resign the position and try to take a step back. So I suffered from anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and just panic attacks, much like our patients do. So I have been in that fetal position on the floor and just not able to manage. So I think it was a good step for me. And so when I took a step back and I was not working for a little bit, my best friend had moved her family out here because one of her sons had POTS, dysautonomia, and another autoimmune condition. So she found better health care here. And so in the meantime, she just asked if I might want to bring my butt out to Arizona and help her with kids. Right. And so I did, and one of my assignments was to drive her son down here to Dr. Team's office for care. He was suffering with POTS and dysautonomia as well. And that was when Dr. Teams had just opened his office here in Phoenix, and he was running the whole show by himself, answering phones.
That's when you guys started upstairs, right?
Yes, we were in a temporary spot. So he was making appointments and doing everything by himself, and so Laura, my friend, offered to share me with him so I could work for him a couple of days a week, and so I offered to help fill in. And that's been about 2 years ago, so I'm still here.
That's awesome.
I know it's worked out.
Yeah, Desert Brain and Spine, I know for me personally, I love working with you. You bring a lot to what you do. You're very compassionate, which you can already tell from you moving out here to help your friend. I don't know if I would have done that, but you have a very beautiful and extensive healthcare background as well. So.
Well, Amanda, I know you have an extensive background in healthcare, so why don't you share with the rest of the folks where you've been?
Well, I don't have as many degrees and everything as you.
I'm older and I have more insurance.
Okay. Well, I actually started out, I started my healthcare career at the age of 21, 22. I started out as a receptionist. And then, like a year later after that, I decided to move on and I became a medical assistant at a vein clinic where I assisted in radio frequency ablations as well as wound care, which the wound care I really, really loved because being able to watch how the body heals, it's a spectacular thing to watch. Something like that. Anyway, yes, it's a very beautiful thing to watch and to be a part of. But then that office went a different way, and then I joined a pretty awesome hormone pellet clinic, hormone therapy clinic, where I administered injections as well as assisted in hormone pellet procedures. And honestly, if I didn't move here to Phoenix, I would still be at that job.
Yeah, it's amazing to me what a hormone can do to a body. Just one change or one alteration can change a lot of things about your body. So that's pretty interesting.
It changed a lot of people's lives.
So what did you move out there?
Well, and my brother, in 2017, he was playing football out here, and he's like, "Hey, come visit me." And I'm like, "What is Phoenix? Is that like a state or is that a city? Like, what is that?" And I'm like, "I'm not coming out there," but I came to visit him, and I fell in love with Phoenix. I mean, it's a drastic change going from Florida to here, but there's something so beautiful about the desert. The desert, the mountains, everything is beautiful. So in 2018, I just packed up everything and I just moved out here.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then your family followed you, right?
All of them except one. So, and I have 5 siblings and 4 of them are out here with all of their kids, and it's a lot. It's a beautiful thing. I'm just kidding. It's nice to have them all out here to be close to family because we are a very close family. So it's awesome.
Good. That's nice to hear. Well, I think between the both of us, we cover I think between us we have over 50 years of experience. So I think we can use that to help our patients feel good about entering our office because we are the meet and greet of the office. And so we're the first person that they talk to when they call on the phone or when they walk into the office. So both of us have had experience in like front and back situations within the clinic. So I think that can help relieve some of our patients because we feel more at ease talking to them. But the other thing is we share with the rest of the staff, the rehab techs and with the docs. We all get together in the morning for a morning huddle, and I do like to share that with our patients because we all know what's going on with every single patient that we see each day. So I think that's important for patients to know that Dr. Teams is the director of the clinic, and so he does direct all of the care here, but the rest of us are involved in that care, whether we're in the front office or in the back with the rehab techs.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
So it does make a Teams team.
Team.
How did you come into this role, Amanda?
Well, I was once I moved here, I worked as a medical assistant for a mobile healthcare practice. I then became the practice manager of the practice, and I did that for 2 to 3 years. But as you were at your job, it was a very high-stress job. And I was going full speed, and I didn't realize it until I crashed. So I had to take some time off, which I took off, I think, almost a year off from work just to regroup and to get myself back together. And so when I did start looking back again for work, I really wanted a job where I could still help people, but not to the detriment of my mental health. So when I first interviewed here, well, actually, when you first called me back to call me in for the interview, what I really liked that you said is that we want to know how you can help us. So
I thought it was my southern accent.
it was definitely the southern accent that drew me as well, because again, the mannerism and everything out here is different from the South.
Definitely.
So I think that was home to me when I heard your beautiful accent.
Oh, stop it.
And then when I interviewed with Dr. Teams, he was on board with the work and life balance, and so here I am.
We're glad to have you because you have become a true partner for me, and I think that it is kind of scary how we're so much alike.
It is.
It's very scary. It should scare the rest of the staff
Yeah.
I think they are scared of my sanity.
I think they are too, but I learn a lot from you in the day-to-day. Although I have the healthcare background as you do, I still am learning constantly from you. So I'm glad that we work together clearly.
Yeah. The other thing to know about Amanda is that she handles all of our marketing and outreach and social media. So you're really good at that. That is not something that I excel in. I'm still on Facebook. I mean, I don't do Instagram, and so you are very adept at picking up things about social media and putting those together for our office for DBS. And so I think it's important to have a face, and you are the face for our partners. You go out and meet all of the docs and the other professionals that we partner with, and so that is beneficial for our patients so that we can share patients with other doctors and people can learn more about what we do here at Desert Rain and Spine.
Yeah. Trying to get the word out, to help as many people as we can.
So if you haven't joined us already on some of our sites, which are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
YouTube,
and is that it?
what else do we have? Is that it, Rena? Yes.
Yes.
Facebook, yes. He can.
Remember, I'm old. I don't know all
No,
this.
that's totally right. That's right. No, that's right. And now, actually, our podcast. Actually, you guys can they subscribe? You guys can join our watch our podcast. I forgot to
I don't remember where the podcast is. Where can we find it? On TikTok?
No, that's in. Rihanna, isn't that in the
YouTube?
YouTube,
Well, it's on
Spotify,
YouTube.
Apple Music,
yes.
or
You
Apple
can
Podcasts.
watch our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
Okay, great. So those of you that haven't found us already, you found us now.
Yes, please go look at our social media. We have some pretty funny stuff on there, and we have a lot of educational things on there as well.
Tell me something that we can expect to hear from one of us, or that patients can expect to hear from one of us when they call in the office for the first time.
Well, when they first call, Cathy and I, our job is to get to know you guys better. So we're going to ask some questions about symptoms and conditions. And then from there, we're going to get you scheduled for a 90-minute evaluation. During that 90-minute evaluation, we start off with some diagnostic testing. And then you will sit down one-on-one with the doctor, where they will do a deep dive into your medical history, getting to know you better as well. And then they will come up with a treatment plan, a personalized treatment plan that they feel will best fit your needs to help you.
Awesome. One thing I really try to express to the patients is that our doctors do spend time with them on that first appointment, because I know I've been to a lot of doctor appointments that I may be lucky to have 5 minutes face to face with a doc. So our doctors do spend an hour and a half total. Take out a little bit of time for the testing, but otherwise they're in with the patient for an hour and a half, and I think that's a really good time for them to build a relationship, to start building a relationship with the patient, and like you said, do a deep dive. And then they also review the findings from the testing, and that's really interesting. So to have that done and to have that read and reviewed over with you afterwards is very interesting. I think there's, and we do ask that they bring someone with them when they come for that appointment, because a lot of times, especially if they have anxiety or a lot of fear, then somebody is there to help listen and back up any questions that they may have, even following the exam. So,
because it is a lot to take in.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about Dr. Filan and Dr. Teams is they truly listen. They're really in there with you, and they're listening to you, and they really care about the stuff that you're going through. So another one of our most common questions, Cathy, if you could please expound on it, is when the patients ask, can I use my insurance?
Well, I am definitely not an insurance specialist. I guarantee that. By any stretch of the imagination, I'm not. But my background in healthcare and working with dental insurance has been that you got to read the fine print. In any policy, you have to read the fine print. And I think one of the things that we found, because we've tried it, we've tried to file insurance for patients, but because the insurance policy reads that it covers chiropractic care, that doesn't necessarily cover the functional neurology piece,
Right.
and that is mostly what we do here. So our doctors are chiropractors by licensure, but they have spent many hours.
Right.
I can't tell you exactly how many, but I want to say thousands combined hours of functional neurology training. So with our office treating CRPS and POTS, dysautonomia, post-concussion, and some of those things, those are not considered chiropractic procedure codes.
Right.
So when we did submit those, they were denied, and
Mhm.
of course we did the whole runaround with the paper trail and over again. And so we have found that it's less stressful for the patient actually that we don't even attempt that because we know that they're not going to cover
Right.
that. And I do think that the other side is that insurance can be a double-edged sword in that it's great to have those insurance benefits and to have reimbursement when you can. But the other thing is when you invite insurance into your health care, then they become the dictator of services based on their financial interests.
Right.
And so we pride ourselves here at this office, and I know our docs do, that we provide excellent care. And, you know, I'm proud of that. And that's one of the reasons that I'm still here,
Right.
is because I never want to be in an office where I feel like there's negligence or, you know, something like that going on with the patient. So we don't want to, you know, have the care for our patients dictated by insurance companies and by money.
Right.
And it is important. Money is important. Don't get me wrong, but we've just found basically the insurance doesn't work with functional neurology.
Right. Do you think that insurance will cover something like this in the future?
Well, we can only hope. I
Right.
mean, I know that for years there were certain procedures in dentistry that were not covered,
Right.
more because they were preventive, and it
Mhm.
just was. It's kind of an oxymoron to me that you would have insurance that would not cover preventive care, but yet they would cover drugs and surgery. And I
Right.
think that's what we find a lot in medical
Mhm.
insurance. So hopefully when people start to realize what's going on, patients, the employers and employees will start talking to their insurance companies, and maybe we can get somebody to listen.
Yeah. That'll be a beautiful day
Yeah, it will.
when we can't take insurance. Well,
Yeah.
if they actually cover the services.
It would.
We can help many more people, but
Absolutely, and we would love to help more
Correct.
people.
correct.
Because trust me, it would help us if we were able to
Right.
file insurance, because it would be, you know, more people in our office. But
Correct.
unfortunately, it's just not the thing right now.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you find keeps you coming to work here? What is it that you enjoy working?
Well, I would say, in short, the results. You know, when people call in, they're exhausted, they feel defeated because they've been to so many specialists, so many doctors, and no one seems to understand, and many people aren't listening. But here, you know, when you and I speak with them, we're able to understand. Our entire team understands. We understand the symptoms. We understand it's not all in your head. Well, it is all in your head.
Well, like
but
Dr. Team
technically,
said,
yeah.
it's all in your head, but not the
Yeah.
way that
Correct.
it's because your brain is in your head.
Yes, correct. But here we understand. So I like, again, the results. You know, watching the patients walk in, they look defeated. You know, but once they're like halfway through their program or finished with their program, they walk out a totally different person. So it's really nice to watch them, and they're given the tools where they can conquer each day. So again, us being able to watch them transition into who they used to be and be able to do what they love, it's a beautiful thing to be able to watch and be a part of. So that's what keeps me coming. And you guys.
Yeah. I was
Working
going to
with
say,
my
that's the same for me, is because we were talking about anxiety a while ago and
Mhm.
feeling so much of that, because it's been a very long time when I don't have that Monday morning anxiety
Mhm.
where Sunday night I go to bed and I'm like stressing out about the next day.
Mhm.
And I just, you know, part of it is because I had to make my mind up that I'm not going to go there.
Right.
So I'm trying not to take things home with me or to burden myself with things that are out of my control
Right.
at the moment. So this is the first time in a long time that I've been able to wake up without that anxiety in the mornings, because I do enjoy coming here to work. We do have fun behind the scenes. And but we keep it at a professional level.
Correct.
But,
Correct.
so I do enjoy that, but I think I'll just like watching the miracles walk out of here,
Yeah.
because truly I do think miracles can happen. And seeing a lot of the patients that have come in here, like you say, they've been depressed and they've been, just because they look fine on the outside
Right.
does not mean that they're feeling fine on the inside.
Correct.
And it is a gift, and I think when patients first call us and they don't know where to start,
Correct.
to describe their situation, but we just have to keep reminding them that we understand,
Yes.
and that and I think a lot of them think that nobody else has this issue and that we're going to think they're crazy, and we don't. And I don't know how many times I have to keep reassuring people that you are not alone. There is hope.
Yes.
We offer hope here.
Yes.
And we do understand that even though the lab results didn't come back with a positive result and the doctors say you're all fine and nothing tests negative, we do understand that there can be some things that don't necessarily show up on lab tests.
Right.
So that's why we have our own diagnostic testing here that helps our docs figure out, where to concentrate their efforts.
Right.
So I like seeing people get back into their normal lives and to enjoy their families again.
Right.
Whether it's the neurological piece or even the decompression where their, cervical or lumbar regions have been giving them problems with herniated disc and that kind of thing. Just having the one patient that we saw in the very beginning when we opened this office, that she was able to spend the holidays that year and be able to get down on the floor again with her small child. I mean, that's huge.
Yes.
When your child is trying to enjoy the holidays. So those kind of things, getting back into their normal life, it's a blessing for us to watch that. It's a joy.
It is. And like you said, a lot of people that I talk to, they do, a lot of people, they say that people think that they're crazy and they are losing hope. But it's nice that they give us a chance to help them to have hope again. And a lot of patients, they have been able to get that back. And it's just a really nice thing to watch. So,
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I hope everybody can learn a little bit about us and know who we are before they actually come in or when they call on the phone. And
yeah, one thing, I just would like to end with is, we have an amazing team here. We have Dr. Teams, Dr. Filan, we have Rihanna, we have Jess, we have Cathy and myself, and we are really ready to help you guys. We're compassionate, we're really into it, so just know that if you do the work, the results will follow.
Absolutely.
So don't hesitate to give us a call. Again, you will speak with Cathy or I, and you can call us at
480-674-9199.
99. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and we hope that we were able to inform you guys on a little bit about us and
call us with any questions.
Yeah.
If you have any follow-up questions, we'd be happy to help.
Yes. Thanks, guys.